Hello, my name is Michael Rashad, and in this video we're going to explore a very powerful feature of FileMaker filtering records using a related value list. Now this is an enormously powerful feature and it will take a little bit of time to get used to it, but once you understand the concepts it's very easy. So let's start by looking at the screen that we have. The data in this table consists of 5,000 people who live in different cities and different states. And what we want to do is be able to get down to a person very quickly. So let's start. First thing we do is we have a field here called states, and this uses all the different states for all the 5,000 records. So it's not a related value list, it's just all the unique options within that list. Let's select Alaska, and the moment we do so, we see all of the cities within Alaska, and we see the index, the first letter of each city. Now in this particular case, because we've only got a few cities, we don't need this value list here. But if we select California, now we have a very large number of cities and we need to filter down, and let's say we want to select San Diego. Now on the right hand side we see all of the people within San Diego. If I want to, I can type a letter to filter down to every person with that letter in their name, or another letter, and now we've got down to 2 very quickly. But let's say I want to look at the zip codes and select the different zip codes. This list of zip codes is derived based on this set of records, so it's a filtered value list. And when I select a zip code, we see all of the people within that zip code. Now, if I had a lot, I could type and filter down. But that's the fundamentals. Now, how do we do this? The states field displays all of the different states from the people table. So it's distilling 5,000 different records down into the relevant states. The city index field, which is the one it's showing here, uses a different value list, and that is filtered based on the state. Now remember that all of these fields that you're looking at on this layout, with the exception of the values in the portal and the filter, are global fields, which means that they affect every single record in the system, and we use those to filter down. In order to get this value, the index of each city, we've had to create a calculated field to grab the first letter of each city from the people table. So let's look at the value list for this city index field. And it's using a relationship called filtered by state, which we'll look at in a minute. And it includes related values starting from people. So filtered by state, and we're grabbing the city index. And this is the relationship, and that relationship is from the G state field, which is our selector field, to the state field in the people table. And now let's look at the value list for cities. This is a different relationship. It's called filtered by city index. We're including related values starting from people, and we're displaying the city. So we're going to look at the relationship filtered by city index next. In this relationship, we have G state equals state, and then we have which city index equals the city index. For this to make sense, we have to look at this field here, which city index, because it's a calculated field. What this calculation does says that if the city index field, G city index, is empty, we want to use all of the city indexes for state, or if it's not empty, we want to use the value of G city index. So in other words, if there is a value selected in the city index, we use that value, but otherwise we use all the values from the value list. And this is a very good way of drilling down and using a field in a relationship that will give you the best of both worlds. Once we've selected a city, this portal called filtered records, or that's the name of the table occurrence, displays all the people within that city, and we can then filter down and choose a specific zip to filter down even further. But let's look at this relationship here, filtered records. Now again, we have two simple relationships, gstate equals state, gcity equals city, and which zip equals zip. So let's take a look at which zip, which again is a calculated field. So what this is saying again is that if the field gzip has got a value, use that value, which is a single zip code. Otherwise, use the value list items for the value list filtered by city, which gives us all of the zip codes for that city. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, this is a complicated technique and methodology. And to help you understand it fully, we're going to include a link to download the file itself so you can play with it, break it down, and see exactly how it all works. Now, it is complicated and it will take you a little bit of time to get to grips with it and understand it fully, but it is really, really worth it.